Imagine falling in love with someone just to find out they watch Netflix without subtitles. I'm convinced that people who don't like subtitles can't read fast. Um, First of all, if it takes you that long to where you fall in love with a person before you find out that they like subtitles, that's a flaw that you have. You should have found that out sooner. Because those of us that like subtitles, we make it pretty clear. The first, usually the first hangout session at somebody's house, we setting up the TV or the DVD, bam, we go right to it, bam, subtitles. That's how we do it. So that's that. Also, I don't know what the big deal is with watching Netflix or any show with subtitles. For those of us that like to read, I grew up reading books. I also grew up on subtitles because I got tired of reading books. It's another story, but it's kind of like you can just read what's going on, and a lot of times in movies there's a lot of noise going on in the background, and sometimes the dialogue is fast, or if you're paying attention you might miss certain things. So it's always good to have that extra, you can read at the bottom so you can kind of keep up what's going on. I always thought that was really great to have. Subtitles are great, and I'm convinced that the people that don't like subtitles, you just can't read fast. That's call a spade a spade. Because they're up there pretty fast. Depending on how dialogue is, you gotta read. And some people make the argument like, well, I can't watch the movie because I gotta read the sub. That means you read too slow. You should be able to read, glance, take like a fraction of a second, and then you're back on the picture of what's going on. Sometimes you can actually, and if you're reading at the bottom of the screen, you could see what's going on in the peripheral, like the rest of your vision. You don't have to like focus in on what's going on. And even like, especially when you watch a lot of movies, especially like fight movies or whatever, there'll be something going on over here, and then there'll be something going on like in the background. So you kind of got to pay attention to both. Little doggo came in here. But anyway, so subtitles are great. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. If you don't like subtitles, that means you can't read fast. And yeah, but it you know what? It might take some time to get used to. I would say put the subtitles on everything, and then you can read. It also might improve your reading skills. I think. I like to think that if I actually got back and sat down with a book, I like to think I could read and skim it fast. And I do remember in high school and in college, when it took those time tests where you gotta read a paragraph and answer questions. I remember I was able to skim through that paragraph pretty fast, just because I'm used to reading fast and comprehending what's going on, because that's important too. So long story short, subtitles is where it's at. It's not gonna block up the screen. Nothing really happens that bottom, and then you get the subtitles with just letters without the little block, so you can kind of see through it, if you know what I'm saying. It's not like a block taking up space. You can make the subtitles like small to where it ain't big, covering up anything. But yeah, and even in video games, subtitles are in video games too, which I definitely like, because while you're trying to control what's going on, and you're looking at the screen, if you hear like some dialogue, you can glance down and read what's being said, as opposed to relying on hearing, especially if it's like a fighting game or an action game. It's got a lot going on. You might not hear the dialogue here and there. And sometimes you'll miss certain jokes or miss certain things, background comments here and there. You'll miss a lot of that if you don't have it right there in front of you. Another perk is that, let's say you hear a word and you never heard it before. You don't know what it means or how to spell it or anything. You got the subtitles on it, you can look down, oh, that's that word, that's how it's spelled. You can type it in on Google, look it up, that's how you learn a new word. So I'm an advocate for subtitles, so we're gonna keep it like that.